maybe give us an example of a success story, and you certainly don't have to talk about what client you're working with, but give us an example of a company who came to you and said, geez, we really need help with X, Y, Z, and now they're in a different place.
So a good example, we just recently launched a new website, and oftentimes that is viewed as like the first thing. That's actually the middle of our engagement, because we'd spent a good deal of time up front. We're really big believers in measuring twice, cutting once,
Sure.
Really big believers in planning. And with this law firm, they really wanted to grow their outside general counsel business. And they really wanted to break out of the typical law firm framework. I mean, the typical law firm marketing, you can look at their website, they're going to have the mahogany library with the leather-bound law books, the partner sitting in front of the video, being videoed in front of it. There's not a law book on this site, right?
Good.
And in particular, one of the big problems we were trying to solve for them is, how do you get small business owners to use their lawyers more often, right? And, as every small business owner in the audience could probably attest to, most of the time you only call your lawyer when you're about to be sued or when you're going to sue somebody. Basically, when you have sort of legal crisis. Really, when you just call to chat about some business issue or whatever, people end up scarfing contracts off the internet and so on. But just like kind of with the theory behind HMOs and medical sphere, an ounce of profession's worth a pound of cure in legal services too. A well-drafted contract could save thousands of dollars of legal bills, down the road, right?
Yeah.
And so we work with them, and we came out with this new business model that is a subscription-based business model. It's a very, very common model on the internet, but it's quite rare for a law firm, right? And it does a bunch of different things. For one thing, lawyers are not very comfortable selling, and the by-the-hour business model of law firms and professional services is kind of challenging. It's hard to predict the expense and so on. But that's what most professional service firms do that. And with this particular site, we're trying to get away from that and have a monthly subscription fee. And when you go to Comcast and you sign up, you add on stars for $13.95 a month, and you do it or you don't do it, right?
Right.
And when you're on the Constant Contact website, you want mail software, you have that typical grid. You have a left column that maybe is free or low priced. And then you have, as you go to the right, you have these other columns where it's more expensive and there are more rows, more and more features in this table. That's how this website works.
So when you say website, this is a website for a law firm or a company that offers legal services?
That's an astute question. It's actually a law firm. There are competitive subscription models. There's a big gorilla in the field. I won't name them, but they're actually an aggregator. There's no lawyers there. It's an internet company that is basically the lawyers pay to have some leads routed to them. Right.
You're not going to mention them, and I won't either, but it's something like lawyers.com or lawfirm.com or, you know what? I think I know what it is. I won't say it either. How's that? But it's some generic term suggesting you go and kind of find a lawyer here. This is the place you find a lawyer, but it's not a law firm.
This is different because it's a real law firm with real lawyers. And that's important because what we try to do, we position this as providing complete solutions. So the everyday routine business transactions, that's handled by the outside general counsel service. But that service also includes discount on all the other transactional stuff if you actually do have to sue somebody or get a patent. And so this is really a complete solution for firms that run from, on the low end, clients who don't even know why you would hire a lawyer, they have no idea what the word general counsel means, to the high end, mid-market companies who know what an outside general counsel, an inside general counsel would do, but they felt like they couldn't afford it. So this website lists prices, it lists the services in detail. These are things lawyers don't typically do. It's much more in that subscription model. So that I'm offering that whole thing as an example of sort of the partnership between Sales Renewal and its clients. We kind of understand where they're trying to go. We bring our business and marketing smarts to it and collaboratively come out with this vision, which we then turn around and implement.
I mean, you give this as an example. It's an example that particularly intrigues me. I was at Lawyers Weekly for 15 years, and I've seen all kinds of creative ways that law firms shop their wares and different ways that they charge. But we don't need to belabor this too much. But if I'm company owner, consumer, whatever I am, and I need legal help, I go to this website. I can sign up for a subscription basis. And then when the shit hits the fan, then what happens? Then the lawyers help me. I can't imagine they just, work on some huge law firm for me just because I'm signed up at some subscription rate.
So again, the subscription service is an outside general counsel. So we're targeting small business owners. It's not a consumer site.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay. Sorry. Yep.
And so the idea is integrate a lawyer into your team. And again, there are different tiers. So depending on the tier, you get more or less services, right?
Right.
So whatever makes sense. But it's a range of price points. And the fundamental the growth opportunity here is there are far, far more small businesses who don't use lawyers, right? And that running meter is a big hindrance. And so we're trying to tackle some of that and also have some of the problems that solve. So a classic one. Lawyers don't like to talk about money. One of the resistance a lot of professional services offer is, I can't do fixed fee because when I do fixed fee, I got to do hourly. I can't do fixed fee because the thing flips. As soon as the client knows it's fixed fee, they have a million requests for me.
Right.
And they quickly exceed the scope, and then I have to tell them they owe us money. It's a whole uncomfortable conversation. The beautiful thing about the subscription model, it's an educational thing. It's not a money thing. You can talk to the client and you say, well, the tier that you're in right now, you're asking for more document reviewed each month than is in your tier. It really looks like tier 2 is a better level for you. Why don't we just move up to tier 2? So it's an educational thing. It's not an uncomfortable money thing. And having all the information on the website, clear, transparent pricing and services, makes it much, much easier.
And so that is a terrific example of how, and you handle that. You're a problem solver from sort of start to finish. So with in that particular case, you looked at a firm who was troubled, and maybe by this very issue you're describing of how to charge, but then you also see it through, and you also do, the website and help with the sales strategy and all that.